Hey guys, what's up? I am here like I promised with Kevin. We're going to review a little of NXT Volume 1. Kev, say hello.
What's going on to all Steve subscribers? I hope you guys are tuned, got your popcorn and everything else. Let's get this underway.
Couldn't have said it better myself. All right, let's start with NXT tonight. American Alphas, those are the new number one contenders for those tag belts. What do you think?
Oh, wow. Well, Steve, you know how we feel about this team. And I'm just going to go on record and say, again, as me and Steve has agreed mutually,
Absolutely.
we will say that American Alpha is better than the world's greatest tag team. Not just based on wrestling, I just think just altogether more personality. They seem very, very promising, and I'm really, really happy that they're number one contenders, and they put on a hell of a match. Like, if you guys get the chance, go, from $9.99, not that I'm paid by WWE, go get yourself a network subscription. I believe there'll be a free month coming out to WrestleMania. If you get the chance to watch the NXT that just happened, you will see just exactly what Chad Gable and Jason Jordan are capable of. And my lord, that German suplex, Steve, by Chad Gable was one of the best things I've ever seen.
Absolute talent coming out of NXT, like you said. And yeah, that German tonight impressed the hell out of me. And they both impressed me week after week. So
not to mention Jason Jordan being a suplex machine. Holy shit!
Yeah, precision, and he just drops him where he thinks boom. Eva Marie and Bailey and Asuka. I mean, I'm going to go on record here. I know you and I have talked about this many times. Yeah, she gets booed for her somewhat non-talent, but she betters herself. She goes through the steps to better herself, doing those trainings with Brian Kendrick and so forth.
Yep.
I mean, overall, what do you think?
What I think, I think a lot of it's just like Corey Graves said on commentary. I know he's in character and he's just acting, but the reality is that a lot of people hate on her because of how beautiful she is. I don't even care if people don't even agree with us on that. We know that majority of the people do think she's hot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people think she can't wrestle, but this comes back to the Roman Reigns, the this, the that, all these wrestlers that people haven't given a chance. It's like, these people will improve with time, and like Steve said, with the classes and tweaking a few things here and there, it's only a matter of time before Eva Marie does become a natural, or better yet, pick up in the ring. And then what are you guys going to say? You're going to start talking about how you don't like her red hair and all that other stuff. I mean, just her entrance alone is money. With the robe and the music. I'm hooked. I don't know why people boo her, but it's one of those things, man.
Yeah, and I'm with you on this. I mean, she was on main for a little bit, and I guess they noticed early that she wasn't really too great in some things, so they said, you know what, we're going to drop you back down, work on this, and you'll come back up. And that's how it is, man. You catch it early, and look what she's done for NXT. Paired her with Nia Jax, and that pairing is just amazing.
And I just want to jump in real quick, and you'd agree with me on this one, is when superstars get a knockback, and we've seen Zack Ryder get a knockback, we've seen Eva Marie get a knockback, just to name a few. One thing you got to admire, Steve, is just their determination, their heart, and just their confidence. It's just, it's not easy getting knockbacks in life. It's almost like you've been promoted and you got demoted, soon after. It's really unfortunate, and I really admire their work ethic and their strive to still continue and to be great. Regardless of where they ended up in the WWE, they still love working for the WWE, and I can respect that.
Absolutely, Zack Ryder, going on 10 years now with the company, and started as a major brother. Then he became one of the edge heads, which I love. Really, that was him. Then he got his own. He kind of tweaked the Long Island Ice Z character and made it what it is today.
That's right.
And Mojo being that football background, two teams, I believe Green Bay and I forget the other team right now, but I know one of them was Green Bay, and that football background that obviously he's got the body, he's got the look, and he's got and that Mojo personality. I'm trying to get with that personality. Kind of on Breaking Ground, it was kind of weird, but we talked about yesterday how like he's maybe gotten some.
I just want to say on that real quick is with Mojo Riley, as infectious as his personality is, I'm with you on that, Steve. I'm not really like warm into it. It's just a bit too bizarre and a bit unorthodox for my liking. And sometimes bizarre and unorthodox works. I mean, look at Goldust, for example. But in this case, I think when I saw Corey Graves on commentary, he was even saying himself that Mojo does way too much shouting. Like I think he really. Either something's mentally wrong there, or maybe he's just too much in character and just too hyper. God knows how many cans of energy drinks. But jokes aside, that guy is something else. That's what I can say. I mean, I think he needs to kind of like calm it down a little bit and
definitely
bring up that intensity, because we know he's got the intensity and his moveset's coming along. So and so, it's a lot better than what it was. He's not as green, but. Much respect to the guy. Same again, NFL background to transition, into a WWE wrestler or superstar isn't exactly easy. And I think he's done really well considering the small amount of time that he's been there. I can't say the same about Zack Ryder. Not to knock what he's done in the past, but I'm talking about currently. Unfortunately, he is in that situation. But hopefully, we'll see Zack climb back to the top.
Yeah. Even though it's not on WWE main roster.
Exactly.
Like,
that's
honestly, and NXT is week after week, and majority of those weeks, they're on it. So, I applaud Zack for sticking with it.
That counts.
I applaud Zack for sticking with it and sticking with that character and helping Mojo along,
Absolutely. And that's what matters at the end of the day is that, he's still being featured. He's not as irrelevant as a lot of other superstars being lost in the shuffle. I mean, take the guys in Social Outcast. I mean, God knows how Heath Slater feels, always being put into these factions that have no credibility. They're a joke, they're jobbers, they're all these things. But, Heath Slater really takes it on the chin and, he continues as a professional. And same again, much respect to him for doing that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It was announced today that Sami Zayn, after that 1 hour almost war with Samoa Joe last week, that he will be taking on at TakeOver Dallas Nakamura. Your thoughts?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm going to sound like a complete jobber on this, but believe me, anyone in Steve's comment section and everybody viewing this video, you can throw stones at me. I do not know who the guy is. Now, in my defense, before you'd be like, oh my God, are you serious? I don't watch a lot of indie wrestling. I am pretty much just strictly WWE, but I do know that this guy is a big deal. So at least I can get a rough idea of who they are and how good of a technical wrestler they are. I haven't seen his work, so I have a lot to look forward to, I guess. So.
I've seen him live. I've gone to ROH shows and seen him live, and I basically implore you right now, after this video, whenever you have the time, YouTube Nakamura, and you'll just see video after video, and it's just amazing work this guy does.
Yeah, no, I had to defend myself because I know you internet fans are very picky with your pro wrestling and definitely love the indie wrestling. And, you go like, I'll tell you one thing in my defense. I do know who Thomas Ciampa is.
Oh, yeah. Another guy that I'm getting really into.
I've seen that guy before, so I have seen his work. So when he came to NXT, I was like, awesome. Thomas Ciampa's here, like, he's got great moveset, really intense guy, has the look down. It's complete badass with the mohawk and
that armbar, man. Just oh my God.
Oh my God, yeah. And I was hoping he'd do that. That powerbomb, which he turns into a backbreaker. I love that move. I don't know what he calls it, but that's one guy I do know of. And of course, other guys like Austin Aries, can't wait for him. And the list goes on. But anyways, back to you, Steve.
Yeah, basically, let's get to this DVD. If you haven't got this DVD, please do yourself a favor and go get it. NXT Volume 1. I've only watched the first disc of 3, and let's just say this: all the Cesaro footage that they have. Like, honestly, I miss Cesaro so much. When I saw the Cesaro matches that they have picked for this DVD, I'm like, oh my god, it's Cesaro. I haven't seen him in forever. And it's such a treat seeing him again on TV, and even though it's like matches that are long since done. Let's see, a second disc here. We have the second disc has mostly the Arrivals footage. Got some. Let's see. Let me see. There's Arrival. There's Takeover Women's Championship finale with Charlotte and Natalya.
Great match, by the way.
Yeah, they talk about
Definitely look that one up.
Yeah, they talk about Breeze. They go into the Tyson Kidd versus Sami Zayn. Takeover Revolution, which had that amazing match with the Neville and Zayn. Then they go into the 4 Horsewomen in that match and the Fatal 4-Way. So, and that's just disc 2, and there's another disc beyond that. Honestly, just sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say real quick, on disc 1, do they have, I believe, the Bo Dallas and Neville feud?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, that was the start of it, really. For those that don't know.
Actually, let me correct myself. Sorry, the Bo Dallas the Bo Dallas and Adrian Neville is the start of disc 2, not disc 1.
Actually, no, I take that back. It was Seth Rollins who was the first NXT champion. My bad.
Yeah, the very first match is Seth Rollins versus Jinder Mahal. And I just want to point out there, I don't know if it was just me. I'll have to rewatch it and make sure I'm not talking out of turn here. But you know how they've outlawed the curb stomp in WWE?
Yeah.
Was it called something else in NXT? Was it called the Blackout?
It might have been. I'm not too sure.
Because if it was, if it was, they censored it. Basically, at the end of the Jinder match, when he did the Blackout, and commentators called it the Blackout, they cut to a crowd shot.
Wow.
And so it makes me believe that they're going ahead with what they went ahead with last year, and since banning the curb stomp, they literally took that footage out.
I didn't actually know that, but that's you learn something new every day, I guess.
Yeah, it blew my mind when they called the move and they didn't show it. They just showed crowd. I'm like, what are they doing?
See, I'll just say this real quick to go on record.
Mm-hmm.
With the WWE, that was a foolish move on their part.
Mm-hmm. Just
because automatically the fans going to be like, what the fuck is this? Show us the move already. You know, or we could be like, oh, this was a great DVD, but there was just one problem with it. And I just want to go on record and just say, same again, even the WWE network, they may not promote Chris Benoit or have anything to do with him anymore, but he is on the WWE network. Make no mistake about it.
Yep, and
so that's one thing I just want to throw out there.
Yeah, and like even on past DVDs that I own, the 20th anniversary of Raw, they have him wrestling, but they don't necessarily have him doing the entrance or doing this and that. They just have him wrestling. So they're kind of censoring that.
A bunch of Benoit matches on the network. Just saying.
Yeah, oh yeah, and like, let me just go on record and say this: am I a big Benoit fan now? No. Was I then? Of course, because he had flawless work. He had the work ethic. He had the moveset. He had everything. Just
one of the best.
Well, yeah, exactly. And just basically to do what he did, kind of like I lost it like a ton of respect for him. But in the end, people are going to side with who they side with. There's still tons of people.
He respects him as a professional, but not for his personal life.
Exactly.
If it was exactly as we were told what he done to his family, you know, it was just terrible. And you know, God rest their souls. And you know, it's one of them things where it's like you hate reminding yourself of what happened, but you know, me and Steve respect him as a professional and what he'd done in the ring. He was one of the best to ever lace up a pair of boots. He might not have had all the charisma, but his wrestling made up for it.
Yeah, and I just again going back to this DVD disc one, the last two matches had really Regal, and just that guy. Oh, one, yeah, your countryman, my friend.
My countryman, in my opinion, and even if I get hate for this, I don't give no fucks. I would put him over every English wrestler that's ever been in that squared circle, just because I think he embodied pretty much everything there was to be a superstar wrestler and everything else that revolves around wrestling. He was just amazing. One of the best technicians. I really strongly believe he should have been the first British WWE champion if it wasn't Bulldog. I really think it should have been him.
Yeah, and even still, I don't think Bulldog ever got that world title. It was only
no one has. No one's had a world title.
Like I think it was just I think it was IC. I think that he got to, and that was it. And tag as well.
Well, see, that's the thing. I don't know if WWE or the McMahons or whoever's head of charge, the authority generally likes British people, but judging by the history, it doesn't look that way. I mean, we're yet to see. I mean, yeah, you've had an Irish WWE champion. Rowdy Roddy Piper, was he ever WWE champion?
No, he only got the IC, and that was it.
Okay, I don't know if we can claim him to be fully Scottish, but wasn't he like Canadian or something?
Yeah, he's got some Canadian roots, and
okay.
So yeah, basically, I'll claim him on his behalf. How about that?
Well, yeah. To cut to the chase, we've seen an Irish WWE champion in Sheamus, and
yes,
like I said, we all know Barrett could have been a champion with a Nexus, the core, the Bad News Barrett gimmick, the Bare Knuckle Fire gimmick, whatever, all that shit rolled into one. He could have easily been a WWE champion at one point. Same with William Regal.
It's
one of the most villain crafty characters.
Yeah,
sneaky, technical, the knuckle dusters. Oh my god! Don't even get me started, man. He should have been the WWE champion. I don't care what anybody says. He was amazing.
Yeah,
and he's currently the NXT general manager, so check that shit out. He's still going strong to this day.
He brings the talent, that's for sure.
Yes, he does. That's for sure. He doesn't disappoint there.
And his work in Breaking Ground, I mean, it's amazing to watch how he simply wanted them all to do kind of one little simple movement, and none of them got it. None of them.
None of them got it, and you heard his emotion.
And he got very pissed off, and rightly so, because all he wants is one simple movement, and they're not listening.
Yeah. And if you don't listen, he's going to come find your ass and say, hey, look, if you don't do it, you're gone.
Yeah, very blunt, very, very serious, like you said, very passionate about his work. And
very passionate. That's just what it is. It just boils down to one thing, and that's passion. And William Regal, that's all he knows. That's all he loves. You got to respect the man. The man's a professional. He's been a wrestler his whole life, more or less. So, nothing but respect for the guy.
And I seriously want to know, please someone tell me why he's not in the Hall of Fame.
Well, you see, when you see people like Jacqueline, who was a great women's wrestler, but, and a Godfather, and I'm not just going to pinpoint those people before people think it's a colour thing, but just a lot of other people that's been in the Hall of Fame, no matter what culture they're from or who they are, I'm basing it on talent. Just not to get me misunderstood here. I'm talking about talent-wise. These people should not have been in the Hall of Fame before certain other people. And the list goes on. And we could be sitting here all day on how many people are deserving of that spot. And William Regal is way above Jacqueline and The Godfather.
Absolutely.
Because they're black. Same again. I just wanted to throw that out there. Because they're two, African-American individuals. But I'm basing it on talent.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I want people in the Hall of Fame like Raven, oh man, to see Raven in, that would be great. I mean, why they chose The Godfather, we'll never know. I think it was more of we have to put him in just for the comedy kind of deal, where I
think, if I just jump in there for a second,
please.
Steve, no matter how controversial, this may sound, I think it was to save their bacon based on Black History Month. It's almost ironic that two black superstars who literally no one would think would be in the Hall of Fame suddenly end up in the Hall of Fame. And, just to say real quick, just to back up what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that they're not deserving. I'm just saying that there's people that are better than them that should be in the Hall of Fame. Now, for example, is Ron Simmons in the Hall of Fame, Steve?
I believe Simmons is, yes.
Okay, well, see, I was going to say him. What about Booker T?
Booker T is in?
Is in, yeah, okay. See, I'm already naming people. See, that just goes to show my knowledge. But I was basically trying to think of other African-American wrestlers that are much better, much more talented. And even with Jacqueline, she was a great wrestler, but there's been a lot of good women's wrestlers. I mean, Molly Holly weren't even that bad, if I want to be completely blunt with it. There's a lot of different people that, were good that I believe should be there. And just to clarify real quick, Molly Holly's not in the Hall of Fame, or is she?
Molly Holly is not.
Okay, well, see...
I could be wrong. If I am wrong, I'm wrong.
Get busted there 3 times. I already got 2 wrong.
I won't hold it against you, bro. I will not hold it against you.
Okay, well, my point is that there's more deserving people, and Steve would agree, I'd like to think.
Let's switch gears here. A couple of things in the UFC I want to talk about. There is first of all, we're pretty close to the Brisbane card. So Mir and Hunt, thoughts?
Mir and Hunt. Do you want my opinion on it?
Of course, always.
Okay. I just want to say real quick before I say my opinion. In the new UFC game, there's actually a thing where you will see upcoming real-life UFC pay-per-views, such as the one in Brisbane, and, you're actually allowed to vote on who you think's going to win and how they're going to win, and if you get your prediction right, you actually get in-game rewards. So that's just really cool. I just wanted to throw that out there. Yeah, so, that's definitely something that I look forward to as of, tomorrow when I pick up my edition, and my prediction is going to come right now. You ready for it?
I am.
You're going to be shocked. I'm going to go with actually, I almost botched there. I'm going to say Frank Mir. I'm going to say Frank Mir. You heard it here first, right? Frank Mir. And I'm going to say Frank Mir is going to submit Mark Hunt with a armbar.
Wow.
Within the second round.
Yeah, I've seen Frank's arm bars before live, and they're not pretty.
And I just want to say, people would be like, oh, why? So random. Frank's stand-up's improved and this, that. Yeah, that is a possibility. No one can knock Frank Mir's stand-up. We saw what he done to Todd Duffy, an explosive young heavyweight. But let me just back up something real quick. Why on earth would you stand with Mark Hunt? That's just what I'm going to ask you, right? You wouldn't, period. So
let me take the liberty of answering that for you. It's just not good for your health. Ever.
Yeah, it's not best for business, in the words of Triple H. So, it's like this, I believe that, he's going to have to win by submission. Mark Hunt's already insecure about his ground game, and ask me why. He said on, the videos prior to this fight, if you look on UFC's YouTube channel, leading up to it, there's a few videos that are 3 minutes long, and he actually said about, if he takes me to the ground, blah, 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 I've been working on my ground game, etc., etc. I don't think he's just stating that for obvious reasons. I do believe he's a bit insecure there, and you would be, especially with Mir's jiu-jitsu. It's just it's very risky, to even be in that position, period, with one of the best that's ever, been in MMA, in the heavyweight division, and to have the jiu-jitsu game that Frank Mir has. I just believe that it's not going to go to Hunt's advantage if it was to end up there. And like I said, it would most likely be an armbar.
Yeah, and just like 196 in our predictions, we're going to be on opposite ends, and okay. I'm going to go with Hunt on this one. I'm gonna
Okay.
I'm gonna go second round KO. Now I know.
Second round knockout.
Yeah, I know that given, and I respect Mir's jiu-jitsu game fully.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's the unpopular decision and unpopular way to go on things. But I love Hunt, man. I got to be loyal. Not that I'm not loyal to Mir, but
I like both guys too. It's not really a biased opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say, from what we've seen in the last fights that Frank Mir has been doing, is he's been knocking guys out, right? So automatically, right, Mark Hunt's going to think this guy's going to try stand because he feels, confident in his striking game, his stand-up game, right? Which he will be confident. But I think this is where Mir's going to swerve us and catch Mark Hunt out with old-fashioned Frank Mir and tap that guy out. That's what I think, personally. So as much as everyone's sitting there thinking, yeah, Mir's going to try get cocky and try stand with Hunt because he's knocked out a few people recently, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think Mir respects Hunt's stand-up game. He knows that guy's got boulders for fists. He knows what can happen to him if he decides to trade with that guy. That punching power is, serious, it's critical, and I don't think Mir is that stupid. No matter how many brain cells he's lost from being punched in the head over the years, Mir's an intelligent guy, and I just don't think he's going to take that chance. It's just going to be a classic case of striker gets taken to the ground and gets submitted. That's what I believe. I could be wrong. Steve could be right, but we will see.
Hey, I was right with Tate, and that's awesome.
Well, see, so it's 1-0 to Steve, right? But on the flip side of things, I could say, I had a point there as well with the Diaz fight. I wasn't saying that McGregor would win if it went to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Steve actually did, to go on record, actually did predict exactly as it was the Miesha Tate fight. So technically it's 1-0 to Steve. I don't think my Nate Diaz victory counts too much because I never exactly said in the actual video last time that he'd win. No matter what. I just said if it went to the ground, you win. So that's more or less half of a point. But Steve gets the full point for saying Miesha Tate wins. So
appreciate that. Thank you.
Hopefully I get a point this time.
Oh, hopefully, yeah.
We'll see. It could be 2-0 to Steve. We'll see.
Hey, crazier things have happened. And I just want to bring up one thing that I read today. I'm not sure if you read.
Okay.
UFC 200 in the works. Kane versus Travis.
What?
Aha! That's exactly what I said too. Kane.
To the note, did you just say that?
And I will give you links to back this up, my friend. But in the works, it is Kane versus Travis.
Well, they will know how much of a Travis Brown fan I am. He's basically my favorite heavyweight, and not of all time, but currently for the last 2 to 3 years. And I've always wanted him to get a chance at that title, and I've always wanted him to climb his way back up there. And I think if he can knock off Cain Velasquez, which is a lot easier said than done, I don't think that might happen, but hopefully it does as a fan. But we can't underestimate Travis either, because Travis is a dangerous striker, and he's still 6'7", and just a mean, tough, resilient guy. So, he's very well-rounded. He's not as well-rounded as Kane, but he's got some power in his fists, and he's got a puncher's chance. So you best believe that if he keeps the fight at range and he works Kane into his, game plan, there might be a chance for Travis. But to be honest with you, a lot of you are going to vote for Kane on this one. I don't blame you.
No.
Yeah. I just want to say real quick, Steve, we forgot to mention something. We forgot to mention the return of Hector Lombard. I don't know if people care about that, but I do.
I forgot about
I think
that.
Hector Lombard is one of the most dangerous welterweights on the planet, and we saw that just in that video they put up on the YouTube just recently of him knocking out that one guy. I forget his name, but Hector Lombard is no joke. As one mean motherfucker, and I believe he'd still be a champion.
Wait, was he the one that got suspended? But
he got suspended for drugs or whatever it was, testosterone. I believe he was on something.
Oh, okay. I thought he was the one that got suspended, but the suspension got overturned because of something else. Or was that someone else?
I don't think he was actually on steroids. I think he was on that shit that everybody else was taking at the time. You know,
Oh, okay, yeah.
That supplement thing or whatever it was, they were abusing that.
Yeah.
TRT was it called? Something like that?
Maybe, yeah.
It was something that UFC were promoting at the time. And,
okay, well, I know TRTs are banned now, and because and that made Belfort a lot better after he was off them.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, he was better on him, I think. The reason being is because he was a lot sharper.
Mm-hmm.
He was more sufficient. He was just more powerful. You know, his body frame just looked like a miniature Hulk or something. You know what I mean? He just looked like, I don't know, just a whole different fighter. And when he came off of it, he looked a bit more frail, little chicken neck, as Luke Rockhold would say. But I think if him and Rockhold went at it again, I think Rockhold would most definitely kick him into next week.
Yeah, hopefully we can just see that. And
well, Steve, what do you think of Chris Weidman and Luke Rockhold's rematch?
Well, I love how the title got changed, because I was a fan of both, but I always thought that Weidman was just he was just a placeholder for someone. Because beating Silva those 2 times like he did, it didn't feel real, you know?
No, it didn't. I don't think it was deserving. I don't think he should have got the title just because Silva threw the first fight, and then the second fight he just come unstuck, you know.
Yeah. And so when Rockhold,
he broke his leg.
Yeah.
Silva, that is.
Yeah, when Rockhold took that title away from Weidman, I knew there was going to be a 2, because you can't just not take anything away from Weidman. He came in prepared.
Exactly, yeah.
He came in prepared, and so what? $199. I can't wait.
Absolutely, and another thing I'll say real quick is I hope Chris Weidman can get himself back in there.
Me too, my friend. On that note,
and recapture that title.
Mm-hmm. On that note, I think I'm going to cut this off, and anything else you want to give out there to the fans of mine?
I mean, well, you know, I just want to say that it's always a pleasure, you know, being on a video with you, Steve. We always give an intelligent opinion, and we always have good conversations back and forth, and intelligent conversations. And
30 minutes plus, my friends. I love it.
We deserve more of a platform. It's not arrogance, it's facts. It's just one of them things where it's like we're preaching and we're giving good knowledge to just general MMA fans and just people with good vibes, and we want everybody to get in on it. So, you know, please do help promote this video and subscribe to Steve's channel. That's all I could say.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for watching, and that's done. I'm done. He's done. Adios.
Peace.